it was, at 30 years old, were to be in the same room with a woman that I am today, she would be scared to death of me. And that's because if you look at self-esteem or confidence like water, it seeks its own level. And that woman, she was a 0, but I am at a 10. But she was a victim. It wasn't her fault that her mother was married 5 times and moved her 26 times before she even hit 6th grade. Nor was it her fault that the first 4 of those men were violent, abusive alcoholics. She was dealt a really bad hand. To give you an idea of a day in her life, I want you to visualize a 3-year-old girl, just a cute little girl, blonde curly ringlets, sunny Las Vegas day, little chubby cheeks, walking down the street to go visit her friend Ricky, 3 years old. She goes around the corner, car pulls up, it's her stepdad, and he says to her, "Get home now." This girl is a baby, she's 3 years old. Just imagine what is going through her little tummy. She's 3. This man told her to go home, and she knows she doesn't. She knows what's going to happen, so she turns. And with every step she takes, getting closer and closer, and imagine the gut bomb she's feeling until she gets home. And she goes to open the door, and she turns it, and he locked it. So now she has to knock. When the door finally opens, this man's arm reaches out and pulls her up, and with everything he's got, he's punching her and pounding her until he's done. He felt better. And that was just another day in her life. Until the summer before 6th grade, when her mother shot her 4th father. And he lay there bleeding in a pool of blood, paralyzed from the waist down, and saying, "I'm going to find you, and I'm going to kill you." And that, my friends, was the last day of violence in her childhood. From there, she went on to 6th grade with daddy number 5, stayed in the same home all the way until she graduated from high school. To the world, she looked completely normal. Nobody could see the brokenness and the damage inside of this girl. Nobody. She moved out, continued to spiral downhill, surrounding herself by zeros, until miraculously she met this man on the airplane who was going to save her. He rescued her, he took her from Las Vegas, brought her all the way to Ohio, where she could start brand new, have a brand new life, thousands of miles away from the crazy at home, until she realized when she got to Ohio, wherever you go, there you are. She was married to a 0. And this man became daddy number 6. He refused to let her have any life of her own. She had to ask permission, which was always denied. And he started throwing, if you do this, we're going to get a divorce. If you do that, we're going to get a divorce. To where she was scared because she didn't want to be left outside. She got to the point where she could not take it anymore. So she went to get a weapon. She went to the bookstore and she got 2 books. She got Looking Out for Number 1 and The Cinderella Complex. And now, as she's laying in bed at night, flipping through the pages of these books, she's feeling this power, this strength growing inside of her that she never knew before. And she got to the point where she made a promise to herself that the next time this man says, "You do blank, we're getting a divorce," she was leaving. They went out one night to a karaoke bar, and she loved to sing. She'd been in a band. She sang one song. After that, the audience started sending up request lists for songs they wanted her to sing all night long. She had an amazing time. She got home that night, and he said to her, "Did you have a good time?" And she said, "It was awesome." And he said, "Good, because if you ever sing in public again, we're getting a divorce." At that moment, a weight lifted off of this girl. And she knew what she had to do. She went to bed and slept better that night than she'd slept her entire life. She woke up, and he went to work, and she left. Now it got harder, because now she had one foot that was in the strength and power that she tasted, but that other foot was planted in concrete and chaos and dysfunction, because that's all she's known. So she did meet a counselor who started helping her work through these childhood issues over and over until she slowly but surely was able to let go of the sting of that childhood and let it go. From there, she learned how to no longer resent anybody or blame anybody for her happiness. She knew it was hers. She let go of everything out of her control, and she took charge of her life. And that is when I came to be. It took me 35 35 years to undo the damage of my mother's bad decisions. 35 years. It was by far the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I don't believe most people could do what I went through. It was very difficult. I went from survive to thrive. All the way from A to Z, from abused to Zen. Zen, because today, I live in the present every day, and I do not have any stress in my life. I've gone all the way to the other side. You a parent? Going to be a parent? Or do you have a parent? Parents pack stuff for their kids to take out of the house with them. It's a ball and chain. They don't mean to do it, but they do it. I went to my mom many times over my life, and I wanted to discuss some of the memories and the stuff that I went through, and for her, it was access denied. She refused to relive one moment of it. I was on my own. What I want to ask of all of you, don't do that to your children if you have a child or a parent. You make sure you open up that dialogue. Something that's dragging you back, something that's holding you back. You open up that dialogue, you start that communication, and you let go. And you leave it behind, and you don't have any more baggage. You have a very light heart. Thank you very much.